Yo, what's good?
We're doing it.
We're doing it.
We're live.
We're here, and we're back live, guys.
Hell
we're back
yeah.
live.
Oh, this is live right now? Like people like currently watching? That's fucking cool.
Yeah, this we were starting off at live, and then something kind of blew a circuit, and then we were off live. But now we're back. Now we're back for our people who love us and mostly hate us.
Yeah.
But we're back, dude. I'm Travis Grant.
Hugh Murray.
And we have a guest today.
Yes.
We have a guest
What's
today.
up?
We've been hanging out with him for a while. He is a music producer and fellow artist.
Awesome.
I'm pumped. You guys are going to really love him. I'm really happy he's here. Mr. Christian Went.
Thanks,
Guys.
Trav.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
No, really, thanks for having me, guys.
Of
I've been
course.
looking forward to this
Awesome.
all fucking week, man.
Dude,
This is
I
sick.
was pumped to
Ready
book you.
talk yeah, no, this is gonna be a great time. Like, probably gonna have to edit half of this out, but like, that's the beauty of it. Let's go.
No.
Why? Is there anything that like you're gonna be embarrassed about?
No, not
Like
really.
it's-
No.
Okay.
I just like talking shit like way too much. It's like a little itch like I can't scratch.
Oh, okay. Because we're cool with
It's in my
that.
butthole,
Like as
but-
long as like you're not gonna get in trouble with like work or something.
No. I work for myself, so it's like pretty cool.
I guess that's like the bonus.
so-
What do you call it? At this point, I was thinking, because this recently, a event company reached out to me, and they were like, "Hey, we're looking for a MC for weddings and stuff." And
Okay.
I was like, "Oh, sick! That's really cool. I'm actually really down to do that." And I told my mom, and she was like, "Oh, it's great!" Like, and she's like, "Are they gonna like see your podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm a comedian. Everyone understands that comedians have wild podcasts." And I started to think, I'm like, you've went too far into trying to be a comedian that like you can't have a regular job. You wouldn't get one.
No, your
yeah.
balls deep in this shit, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
my parents are
yeah.
like mortified because like I'm unemployed right now. so they're like, we're kind of concerned that the union is seeing your podcast.
you better fucking hope, to be honest. This is like
Yeah.
a complete resume builder right here.
I'm like, I think they're proud of me.
And that's definitely
I'm just trying to expand my skill set right now.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's definitely a job that would have a problem.
Yeah, it depends.
You
know,
think?
because like it's union backing, so it's like they can't get too mad.
I feel like union guys are pretty rough, tough.
It like the union itself has always been cool, but like I could see like the company that I work for getting upset, but like I never really connect the two. Like I never put like where I work like on my social media. Like that's dedicated to being like a comedian.
Yeah.
you gotta have a stage name. I think that's the move.
Yeah.
I tried in the beginning. I tried having like a stage name. I was going by like Hugh Daniel. Like
Oh,
my
I
middle
remember
name.
that.
Yeah. I tried doing that for a while, but like then like it was like getting confusing because like people didn't know what to fucking call me.
I think I remember Hugh Daniel Murray. I didn't remember Hugh Daniel.
Yeah, well, I was going by Hugh Daniel for a while, and I remember like people booking me, and they're like, "What is your name these days?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just changed it on Facebook, like because like so I wouldn't get in trouble at work, so like people couldn't find me."
Yeah.
But like bookers and like everybody was like getting like real confused, and then like the DWI article came out, and then it was just like, "Oh, well, they put like my full name and like my street address in like an article saying I got arrested." So, like, why not just throw everything out there? Like, here's my full name and my social.
Just
Like,
fully dox yourself at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
Here's my
yeah.
fucking address. Like, you got a problem with me? Let's go fucking resolve
that's
this.
what I'm saying,
Meet me on the corner.
It's crazy, man. Our one friend, when he first started, this guy Mike Keegan, he's super funny.
Yeah.
And Keegan had a gimmick, and he was Boner the Caveman. And he would tell like sexual like caveman jokes, just like real like low bar.
That
Yeah.
just sounds like an excuse to be rapey.
He dressed up like a caveman, too, right?
Oh, like full
yeah.
Fred Flintstone?
Yeah.
And then he met Jim Gaffigan like that.
yeah.
And he's like the most like clean comic too.
Yeah.
It's a weird dynamic right
Yeah,
there.
he's I wouldn't call him clean, but like he can definitely work clean for sure.
Yeah.
He's one of those comics that has like a. It's interesting because comedy, it's like very of its own time. Like each tour, you have a different set essentially, or like each like round of shows, you have a different set. But there are some comics that have like it's like a song almost. It's like you go to see this comic for this bit. Like there's like Jim Gaffigan has that one. I forgot
the Hot Pocket.
Yes, exactly. The Hot Pockets one, or like Tater Salad, or like the Burger Machine. Like I find that so interesting. Like when I see comedy, I want to hear new shit or like shit I haven't.
It is interesting with comedians because like I feel like if you go to see a band, you never want to hear the new shit.
No, you're like
you always want to.
We're just working on this in the studio. It's like fuck this, man.
Yeah,
like,
I want to hear the hits.
Yeah,
you know. But with comedians, it's like, oh, I heard this already. I want to hear new shit. You know.
I think it's because like think of how conversational a joke is. Like you could. And I'm not putting down music at all, but like obviously, I look at musicians like, oh shit, like that's because that's something I definitely cannot do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I'm just like, holy shit, how are they fucking doing that? But like, say you're playing a show at a bar or somewhere.
Yeah.
Like someone can just have a conversation with someone and let that music be background noise and also still enjoy the show. Like if we're having a show, like we can't be background noise because we're talking to you. Like, as like
you have to be fully present there. Like you can't just like zone out and play your guitar.
Yeah, like. if you're zoning out and we're background noise, well then it's a bad show. You're not liking my set.
Yeah, you're like if you're half listening, you're like missing a bit, you know, like you're missing the punchline or something, you know.
Yeah, if you're not engaged in what I'm talking to you, then essentially you're not engaged in a conversation,
right?
Which means who gives a fuck?
Yeah, there's no point at that point.
Yeah, if there's a song playing in the background, you can still enjoy that song while doing whatever.
Yeah, you can just vibe out, take a video, like do whatever. Or like the thing is too, I can understand how musicians do drugs on stage, you know? 'Cause, like, you get in the zone, it's kind of like muscle memory at that point.
Dude,
like,
I fucking don't. I'm like, I don't even know. Like, playing a guitar, I'm like, how the fuck are you just like when you see like videos of Hendrix, just like, I'm like, that guy's looking at like 20 strings right now.
And he used to like play upside down or whatever. Like he was like a lefty.
Teeth, man. Yeah, like, you'd bend that shit over and fuck it pretty much.
Literally.
Yeah.
Or just like Motley Crue, they're going out after like a 2-day bender. Like,
yeah, seriously.
Dude, well, arguably those guys barely played their instruments. Like, I love the Crue, but like, still.
What do you call it? So like as a music producer,
like so get into that. Like what do you produce? Like are you playing any instruments? Like do you play shows? Like what's
Yeah, so primarily I work with different artists. I mean that's a very blanket statement right there, but I for like solo artists I typically like compose their background music. Like I hate the term saying, "Yo, I make beats, bro," but like that's pretty much like what I do in that department. But also like say I'm working with a punk band right now. I kind of just make sure it's like they have their songs ready to go when they come in, but I make them sound good. It's like we're gonna take this microphone on like this guitar, we're gonna layer this guitar like 8 times, we're gonna do the bass 3 times, like making those kind of executive decisions to make the record sound good. And then I make my own music in my own time. Like I compose the instrumentals for it, and then I like rap and sing over it, and then I perform live. So, yeah.
So you rap.
No, I'm more of like a vocalist. I hate saying the word rapper. Like I'm too white for that.
Yeah,
like, it's just like I used to be like full in like I'm gonna be a rapper when I was like 16, 17, and like dude, it was not a good look with my family. Or just like people in general I'd come with every day. Like it just came with a lot. I remember one time I did a show in Westbury and I was like the token white kid performing on the microphone and everyone was just laughing at me. Like, it was like
well you showed me that one show that you did recently.
In Jersey, yeah, that was crazy, man. Like everyone was like drill music and like Jersey club music. It's like that, like dun 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 dun. And I just kind of had to go crazy. Like I was like, there's no way I fit in with these people.
Right.
So let me just start fucking screaming and jumping around. And it was third place. So.
It was interesting.
It was like a contest. Mm-hmm. So you finished in 3rd place.
Yeah, it was for a festival slot in Jersey.
Oh,
it was pretty cool.
It was interesting to see. Because clearly that's a hostile environment.
Oh yeah. Oh
and,
yeah. There was bloods there. Like there was legitimate blood members.
Yeah.
Like, I did not fit in.
Dude, he'll show you the video. It's like pretty wild.
Yeah. I make like every album I try to do something different, but my stuff's like a mix of like alternative music, pop, hip hop, dance, like electronic. Like it's literally everything. Yeah. But it's also nothing at the same time. If that makes sense.
That's cool though.
I think that makes sense to anyone that's ever done drugs.
Yes, exactly. Yes, we can relate. It's like the handshake emoji. You know?
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see, because to see someone go out into an environment that's not typically for them, like to realize that and realize what you have to do to make what you're doing go well, that's a skill in its own. And I don't think a lot of people know that.
I mean, all it takes is just watching 8 Mile like way too many times.
Yeah.
You know, you just gotta get up there and be like, "Fuck Papa Doc." You know?
But you knew you're like, like these motherfuckers are crazy. I need to go in and I need to kick the fucking door down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you have to be a complete savage. Like you really have to give no fucks.
Yeah.
Because we get that as comedians. We do go into hostile environments like often.
You can't
know?
You can't go up timid.
Yeah, no. You need to have like that air of confidence, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was crazy because I was watching a Rogan clip the night before, and he was talking about how like in his comedy scene, like they're all kind of like metal sharpening metal. That's also a Wu-Tang quote too. But like, you really want to go up after people that you think are better performers than you because it brings out the best in you if you have your shit together. I mean, there's people that kind of like fall back and like sit about it, like, oh, I fucking suck, but like that's a shit mindset to have.
That's also with martial arts and just like and like, you know, combative sports too. Like if you're just wrestling dudes who are so or people you could beat the shit out of, well then fine, you could stay there. But then when it comes time to, you know, go against someone who's really good, then you're gonna get your fucking ass kicked because you're not sharpening your metal. You're not. You're not getting better.
It's about putting the work in, man. Like I thought I was gonna win that shit too, but like third place was really humbling. I was like, wow, like I did this for the first time in like 3 years, and I did third. Now it's like I gotta keep doing it, and I'll just get better. Like it feels fucking great.
How long have you been doing it altogether?
Like music? Since I was like 10 years old.
Oh shit!
Like,
wow.
like no, like I remember asking for my first guitar for Christmas. It was actually because of Guitar Hero 3.
Oh dang!
I still play Guitar Hero to this day. Like specifically Guitar Hero 3. Like it's at my studio. Like I keep it there. I mean,
Nostalgia
obviously, just to
reasons.
smoke weed and like fucking play. But like, it's at the same time, like it's like the best video game ever made. Like
That's fucking.
I owe my life to that game.
Wow.
Then they had a drum hero too, didn't they? Or something like that.
Yeah, that shit was whack.
Yeah, those
That's
didn't
just
like
not the same.
they had like Garage Band, right, or something like that,
Yeah.
where you could play like every instrument.
Yeah, Rock Band.
Rock
you
Band.
could
That was
sing
it.
too. That shit was. Everyone wants to play fucking guitar. Let's be real. Like no one really wants to play the drums. It's kind of like a B option.
I'm not gonna lie. I would want to play the drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
That shit is pretty fucking. That's a very primal instrument.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's
Yeah.
you need to be able to keep track of one thing while also keeping track of like several other things.
Right. I don't have the brain like bandwidth for that. Like
tough.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's honestly why I'm like guitar is the shit because like I can't do drums.
Yeah,
yeah.
One of my best friends is a crazy drummer. Like
You got to have a wide brain.
yeah, it's also like, that's like a crazy work. Yeah, it's also like a crazy workout though. Like
Oh,
just
for
like,
sure,
you
man.
can't do like an hour set and not feel fucking exhausted. Let alone like 3. Like you watch
Yeah.
like the Rolling Stones like a 3-hour set. I mean they're not doing like ridiculous shit,
But
but,
it's
even
still-
they're like 80.
Yeah.
They're 80 and they're still fucking 20-year-olds too. Like
Dude.
that's incredible in itself.
Mick Jagger just knocked up like a 27-year-old model.
Really?
That's the new flex, man.
Wow.
Like having like 12 different kids with
Yeah.
like 13 different women. There's no
That's the new flex.
Yeah, 'cause I think like Pacino and De Niro both knocked up like some
Yeah.
young hot chicks too.
Yeah, you can look at like Future. He has like 7. Dude, on Future's Wikipedia, it doesn't even have like an amount. It has greater than or equal to 7 kids. Like, they don't even know.
Yeah, they're just using like math symbols at this point.
Yeah.
It's like what's his name? Nick Cannon.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
notorious for that. It's always
He's
like
got
every
like
day.
30 kids, right? With
Yeah.
like 27 different women.
Oh yeah.
If I had 30 kids, I'd fucking kill myself.
Oh my god, dude, I wouldn't be able to handle that.
I would kill my fucking self.
Yeah, one looks like
30?
a lot of work.
Are they all from different marriages or all the same?
I
That's up
gotta
to you
look
to
it.
decide
I gotta
if
look it
that's
up.
That's fucked up.
If it's from the same woman, God bless that woman.
Yeah, her pussy's shot, man. that shit's a fucking screen
It's
door.
probably
at that point.
it's like I don't mean to sound crass.
Oh,
here.
so he's fathered
But-
12 kids.
Yeah, if you're having 12 kids,
Nick
I don't mean.
Cannon?
Yeah, with
Oh,
6 different women, 5 of whom are less than 1 year old.
The women?
Yeah, like I don't mean to sound crass, but if you've had 12 kids, your vag probably looks like the Practical Joker's exploding cigar.
Well, I mean, like he's not, he's not like
love that in the
taking
comments.
care of them, you know?
no.
Yeah, like he's just
It's a
like
fact.
paying, like that's all he's doing, just paying them.
It's like owning a bunch of Rolexes to them. Like
Yeah,
you keep them in a box.
exactly.
Like, oh, this is Charlie. This is Jason. This is
It's probably like
Steve,
owning like racehorses,
Yeah,
like you
like-
just like check up on them once in a while, like, hey, you're making money yet?
Well, that's the thing too. They all give them like fruity names, like Apple and shit. Too.
Yeah.
It's like the racehorses, like the
Right.
fucking Wind Blows Mary. Like,
Maverick. I know someone who just named their kid Maverick.
Maverick. Wow.
Is that because of Tom Cruise and Top
Yeah,
Gun?
Top Gun fan.
You know what? It fucking better be.
Oh,
Yeah, right? That movie saved America.
Yeah. You see the new one?
Dallas
Yeah, that's what I'm
basketball
saying. That movie
fan.
saved America.
The new one was sick, dude.
Yeah, I just watched a new one like this week.
Yeah.
I hate
you're
Miles
fucking late.
Teller. I hate him.
Dude,
Yeah.
the one thing about that movie is everyone tried to do that fucking mustache again, and I hate that shit. Yeah, like,
yeah,
it's because of Miles Teller. Like,
Dude, I hate
he's the
Miles
blame.
Teller. I want to punch him in the face so bad.
You think you can beat up Miles Teller?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
After seeing
dude.
Whiplash, like, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
What-
You ever see Whiplash?
Yeah. That's my favorite scene when J.K. Simmons just like fucking lights him up and just starts
Calls
slapping
him like
him in
every
the face.
slur in the book. And
Yeah.
like, throws a chair.
What
at him.
if you go through Marissa's phone and Miles Teller's in there?
Oh, dude, it's game
and,
over.
and you're like, who the fuck's Miles? Who the fuck's Miles you talking to? And she's like, don't get mad. It's Miles Teller.
Game over for Teller, dude.
Yeah?
Oh my god. Yeah, dude, I'd fucking light him up.
What-
I see. Like, I don't know what it is about him. I just hate his fucking face.
He's got a very punchable face.
Yeah,
I love
very
that.
punchable
Yeah.
face.
A
Dude.
lot of people agree with you, honestly.
Yeah, really.
I don't, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, see, other people are like telling me like, "No, I like this dude. Like, he's a good actor." I'm like, "Nope." He was terrible in the Fantastic Four. That movie was garbage.
Oh, yeah, that movie's fucking awful.
Going back to kids, we were talking about kids before. You want to hear something
Right.
fucked up?
Yeah.
So, I was on tour like 2 years ago, and I brought my friends with me. My friends aren't comics; they just wanted to come on the tour. And one of my friends met a chick. Then, like, that's where he first met her, and
Yeah.
then he was going back and forth from Florida, hooking up with her, got her pregnant.
Oh.
She's like 19,
Ooh.
Oh.
and she's like, "I'm having the kid, so
Wow.
just you're the dad.
Jesus.
Just get used to it." So he's like, "All right." So he moves down there to Florida. He's doing all that.
Yeah.
The baby comes out. Now I have a son.
Holy
Literally months later.
At least it was a boy.
Literally. Literally months later, she has a kid. She's pregnant with another guy's kid.
Oh god.
He told me
that's
that.
brutal,
He told me this
dude.
last night, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Dude, really?" And
He
he's like,
moved down to Florida for that too.
moved down, and so he's like, "Oh, is this just something you do?" And then he met the family, and he's like, "Oh, the sister does this. The mom did this."
Oh, they just get knocked up.
They just like it. I think it's a common thing in Florida.
huh.
Florida woman instead of Florida man. Like,
Yeah.
like, Florida man's doing crazy shit with dynamite. Like, Florida chicks just getting knocked up.
Dude, Florida's such a fucking circus.
Yo,
such a
it's a
shithole,
completely
man.
different world.
It's honestly, I think it could be its own island.
yeah. Like
really
if we
is.
built a wall around it, like it could be its own country.
It could be its own fucking thing.
Yeah, it's a different like atmosphere down there. Like, yo, they just don't give a fuck, man.
Dude, when we were
really
down
don't.
when we were down there, we were just axe throwing like after the show.
Yeah.
That's because that's what you do there.
yeah.
You just throw shit at the wall.
It's pretty common though. I feel like axe throwing places. But
Yeah, it's getting bigger.
But
I
what
did
I-
it the other day.
It's a popular
Yeah.
date
yeah,
thing.
like a month or two ago.
yeah, it's a fun date thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're axe throwing, and this chick, like the chick, because you can't just start throwing axes around.
Yeah.
They gotta like have someone that works there show
Yeah.
you. And so this chick comes over. She's a good-looking girl, and she's like flirting with me and my friends. And then we're just like, I found out she's like, "Oh, you from here?" I was like, "No, I'm actually on the road doing shows. I'm a comedian." Like, "Oh, you're a comedian."
Yeah.
And we're talking to each other. And then if I find out she's like 17 years old.
Oh god.
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
really sorry. I'm at the time. I was like, I'm actually 30, so we can't do this. She's like, oh, I don't care.
It's like I could be your dad.
You think this is my first rodeo?
She was like, I don't care. I was like, well, I do. Like,
yeah, the court system does.
You're in high school.
Yeah.
I'm 30 years old.
Dude,
Like,
that's insane.
But I think that's just it's just filled with like super hot, super young chicks.
Oh my god.
And then just people. So my friend, when he moved down there, he
Yeah.
said he got pulled over and he had a gun and an open beer in the cup holders. And he was like, he's from New York. He's
Yeah,
like, I'm
I'm going to
fucked.
jail.
And the guy was like, hey man, just kind of slow down. Can't really be going that fast on that road. Like he said, the officer didn't even look at the gun or the beer. And he was like, all right, man, see you later.
It's like that scene from Dumb and Dumber, except like the no piss bottle.
Yeah.
Dude, I need to move down there. Holy shit.
Yeah,
every,
right?
every time,
Dude, I'm like getting pulled over for like no front license plate up here, and they're like taking my ass to traffic court. Like, dude, it's a nightmare up here.
Dude, it's I'm not gonna lie. I was when I was at the Montauk Film Festival recently.
Yeah.
I had a few drinks, I have to drive home from Montauk, so I'm not getting
Oh,
drunk.
yeah, dude, that's like 90 miles.
Yeah.
That's half the fun, man.
Yeah. So I had a few drinks, I had some food, whatever, and I didn't even see a stop sign. I blew through it, and I got pulled over. I was like, oh my god, dude! Like I have like 4 beers in me right now. I'm definitely fucked.
Fuck.
And he was like pestering, and I just kept it cool. And I was like, no, dude. I mean, like we were over the Montauk Film Festival. Our movie was in there, and he's like, yeah. He's like, what are you doing over here? And I was like, I'm getting food. That's what I'm doing. And he's just like, okay. And he just like stared through my soul, and I was just like, just stay cool, Travis.
Yeah.
Stay cool. And he let me go.
Oh, thank God.
I was like, dude, if I get arrested right now, oh my God.
Yeah.
That would be, if I got a DUI right now, I believe right now in my life, I'm holding my head above water. Things are going all right.
Yeah,
for
you're
me
treading
right now.
water,
Really
dude.
treading water.
Yeah, I'm treading water.
That's why we named this.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now.
I'm treading water. And
Yeah.
it's going all right.
Yeah, you catch a DWI,
That's the one thing that would.
you're drowning.
fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of things that would sink me, but that's one of them.
Yeah.
That's like the easiest one to fuck up too. Like,
Dude.
that is scary shit.
Yeah, and losing your license as a comedian, dude, it sucks.
Yeah, you're
dude,
fucked.
Yeah, because
it-
you guys got to do like multiple spots at different places. Every
There,
fucking
there,
night.
there goes
Oh,
my
God.
road shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that's what happened to me. I was, hitting the road when I got my DWI, and I was like 2 years into comedy, and I was like, really starting to grind it out, and like I was getting spots like all over, and comedians were bringing me on the road to like host and feature and stuff because I had a car. Like headliners
Yeah.
will do that, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this guy's funny. He's got a car. He can drive. Like I'm gonna bring him on the road." So, dude, when I got to DWI, all those spots dried up.
Done.
that
Yeah,
sucks.
so like I was losing a lot of work and then like not to mention like all the other shit that came with the DWI that we mentioned on the show, like losing spots at like certain clubs that like did not like it, and like it like ruined my life, like it was really bad.
It's I'm just so.
And like, dude, like with me, like I didn't hit anyone, I didn't cause any property damage. Like, dude, they just fucking pulled me over and ruined my life. That was it.
I get it because it's like how do they know like what your tolerance is to drunk?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they look at it as like who's this stranger who's behind the wheel drunk? This guy could just fucking kill someone. Because then you
Right.
hear stories of when someone did kill someone, and you're like, oh, that's catastrophic. That's
Right.
bad.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
imagine you
Fucked up
fucking
shit.
my dad's friend. I mean, I grew up with the kid. I mean, obviously, with whatever. My dad's friend's son.
Yeah.
It was years ago, like over 10 years ago, and he was coming back. He went out. He didn't drink, but he just didn't feel like it. And he's like, "All right, guys, I'm about to take off out of here." As he's going home, someone was drunk, blew the fucking light, and then like hit him, and the guy died. Like on impact.
Wow.
On impact, the guy's dead.
Yeah.
And he was like, they checked him, and he's like, "Thank God I didn't even have 2 drinks, because then I would have been fucked."
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, but he had to go through like therapy and everything, because he's like, "Dude, I fucking killed someone."
Wow.
And the therapy was like, "You didn't kill someone. He blew through the light. He was drunk, like whatever."
Yeah, but
And
you still carry it with you.
yeah, he said it took him a long time
Yeah.
to get that out of his head.
Yeah, dude.
That's like my biggest fear, man. Is like I don't do that, but like if I'm just driving like at night or something, and like there's a kid outside playing like ball or something, and runs in the street, like
yeah.
the typical like kid runs out, and you fucking hit him, like that
That,
ruins
that
your
is
life.
that is
Like,
kind of an irrational fear of mine. Like when I see kids
Yeah.
playing or like
That
fucking
almost-
riding their bikes,
that
like
almost
dude, I
ha-
like tense up.
Dude, that
Yeah.
almost happened to me in Syracuse, because when it snows there, they have these like huge fucking snow piles, like these like snow banks.
Right.
And like I guess a bus dropped the kid off. Bus takes off, and I'm like, all right. And this little kid runs out from under. You can't see him. He's like, the snowbanks there are literally like 10 feet fucking tall.
yeah,
They're
dude.
huge.
Yeah, no.
Upstate
And
gets crushed.
This guy runs out, and I was like, and like this kid was like, I was like, dude, if I just fucking killed that kid,
Yeah. Oh,
like my life, that's not. I was probably 20.
yeah.
That
Oh,
was
you
like
fuck.
that would have been fucking bad.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Do you think you would have gotten like a little bit of a high for like a hot second?
I just fucking killed a kid.
Oh, I'm getting
kinda
addicted
like
to this
this.
feeling. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing this more.
I'm gonna start killing kids.
Yeah.
You ever see that
You
guy?
start figuring out who you are as a person after that.
You ever see that guy that went completely postal in like Colorado in the '90s and built like a tank out of a bulldozer?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
He kind of failed though. He didn't kill anyone.
No,
No,
yo,
it's
but like he got
himself.
like he got like fired from work or something, right? And he like went ape shit and like
Yeah.
just like took down the
So
building.
The town like fucked. Yeah, so the town like fucked him over. He had like a couple businesses and they like
Yeah.
completely fucked him out of like they used like some tax bullshit to fuck him out of his property. So then he built like this elaborate like bulldozer with like holes. It was like concreted in with like machine guns.
Yeah.
And he just went on a fucking rampage. Like
Yeah.
destroyed all these buildings. and
He like
towns,
welded like these like
shooting
steel
shit.
plates
Yeah.
on it and shit, so it was like completely bulletproof. Like
Yeah.
they could not get this guy out of his tank bulldozer.
Dude, I love stories like that.
Yeah.
When someone is fucked over and he's like, you know what? Fuck that. You think,
Yeah.
oh, you think I'm done? Wait a week.
I know.
Wait a week for me to build this destroyer tank. And I'm coming back and I'm just going to level this fucking place.
Yeah, dude.
I'm for him.
I love those underdog stories.
Pro that man.
It's an underdog story.
It's like the Mighty Ducks, but just like with a crazy person.
I support people like that all the time because you don't know what
Oh,
that guy's,
yeah,
you don't know what that
100%.
guy's got going on.
Yeah, dude. Like, well, like his life was like completely ruined. He lost like all his businesses. Like they went under. I think like he's on his way to like losing his house. Like I don't know like if his like wife left him. Like like he could have just been like at like I have nothing left to lose. Like
No.
and like I
Have some
think
fun. Like, yeah.
I think like what he did was he like started driving through like the building. Like that, like fucked him over, like
Yeah.
whatever building, like was there like the tax building or something, and he just started taking it down like brick by brick.
That's a very, I think it's a very powerful, but it's also a very
Yeah, it's definitely a power move.
Well, it's a powerful but dangerous situation when you see someone with nothing left to lose.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I've never really been in that situation, but the only thing that I could even say is similar in my life is like you ever bomb on stage for
Right.
like a week, and you're just like not,
Yeah.
and you're just like fuck, like my new shit's going bad. My old shit's not working. Like it kind of rattles you. Like
Yeah.
you're like, am I even a good? Am I even a comedian anymore? And then after that week, you just, you know what, dude? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
What's the worst happen? I just keep bombing, and you go on and you have like the set of your life.
Yeah.
Because you don't care.
Yeah.
You're like, what do you?
underdog
What do
energy,
you like? What do you? Yeah. You're like, what are
Yeah.
you fucking people gonna do?
Now, as a musician, do you have like sets like that where it's like you are like what's the equivalent of bombing? as a
Yeah, yeah,
musician?
yeah.
Bombing, like you just suck. Like,
Yeah.
I've gone up there, like forgot my own words, like shit like that. Like,
Oh, really?
You kind of stumble over yourself in the same
Yeah.
way. It's not fun. Like I said, like there was that one time I played that show. I was like the token white kid. Like that was
Yeah.
just not good. Like it could be like the wrong music at like doesn't fit the venue. Like,
Okay.
that type of thing. Like the crowd just sucks. Like,
Yeah.
there's no one. I've done shows with like literally one person in front of me. That's never fucking fun.
Dude, so it's actually like a lot of similarities to like performing
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah,
Like one person in a room sucks. Like being like when the vibe is off, like the crowd. Like I think we have a lot of similarities in that.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have
regard,
done
yeah.
shows too, like pay to play shows where you like lose money and shit like that. Like,
Yeah,
I do a lot of that.
Oh
Like,
yeah, well
like-
yeah. With us, it's like one thing I did notice about like the music industry is like we have like what's called like bringers, where we have to like bring a certain amount of people to basically get on stage, and like they're awful,
Yeah,
and
I've
it's-
done those. That's not. Like, it's always like
Yeah.
a Tuesday or something. And you can't get
Oh,
like your. That's when
yeah.
you find out who like your real friends are.
Oh,
too. It's like,
100%,
you fucking
dude.
assholes. Like
100%.
dude, like, it's like you told me a month ago,
But,
and
like-
a week ago you're gonna come.
I always felt like music, like I had, friends that were in bands and stuff. Like the way they would do it is like, so like the venue would be like, all right, you can play here, like sell a certain amount of tickets and like, get back to us. And like, so then like say the week of, they're like, hey, we sold 50 tickets, but they had to sell 100. The venue's like, listen, you can't play, like you didn't sell 100 tickets. The band kind of gets power where it's like, well, we sold 50. So we can either take that money that we, have from selling tickets and we'll buy like fucking new equipment for the band, or you could let us play the show for 50 people. But they kind of like have that power where it's like when we do like a bringer, it's like, so say like the day of, it's like, oh, you have 6 people, but you're supposed to bring 10. Like they still won't let us perform because like
I watched your podcast with that yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, that sucks. I've been there with that.
yeah,
type of shit.
dude. But like I heard like with bands and shit, like they still kind of have like some power because it's like they're selling the tickets themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's also easy with the band because you got to think that's like 4 to 5 guys typically. So like each guy can bring a different amount of people. But it's also with a band. So like what I do is I make like very weird like genre bending music. Like I can't just go to a bar and play that. So like if you're like a cover band, like you have a lot more leverage in that situation because bars want music. Bars want live entertainment for their night. Like if I was in that position, I was like, oh, I'm playing this bar tonight. They'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Like, this is weird. Like, we don't want you, man. Like, we're doing you a favor, bro.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
So what would you say as a, you're in music, what would you say was your worst bomb?
My worst bomb? I remember being on stage so like, it was always like these shows, like it's like they're kind of like bringers, like they give you a certain amount of tickets, you're on the hook for that amount of money, and like no one stays for each other's sets.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
And I remember it was my first, because now I play with like a backing band if I can. It was my first time doing that, and I had like all these like cool like effects pedals. I had like an auto-tune pedal, so I thought it was like fucking Kanye with like 808s and heartbreaks and shit. So I remember like distinctly there was like a group of girls like up front, and I tried like serenading them in the front, and they just laughed and laughed. And I was like,
oh no!
Oh
God!
Yeah, that's brutal.
So obviously, you do shows.
I try to.
and you're also a music producer. Now, as a music producer, so you have this studio, and then people pretty much come into the studio and they use you for your studio time.
Yeah.
And then you help them out with what you can.
Yeah, I engineer them, and I make their record sound good.
Yeah.
I know all the skills to essentially record it and put it in the computer and mix, master, all that type of stuff.
So now, what do you do when someone hits you up? Hey, listen, I want to pay X amount for the studio time. I got a new record. I want to filter it through you in your studio, and they come to the studio. And they're just the fucking worst person in the world to work with.
Oh, that's the beauty of owning your own business, man. You tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
I don't want to work with you, man.
You ever tell someone, like, get the fuck out of here?
Oh, yeah. It's just, I'm a very particular person with, like, the energy I give my time to. And if it's just not it, I'm not going to, like, bother. Especially with, like, making art. Like, putting something on record is, like, you have to be very comfortable. And you have to, like, just let it flow naturally. Like, if we're really fighting an uphill battle to make a fucking song, this is not it. Like, I don't need the money. I really don't need the money that bad.
Yeah, or the fucking headache.
Exactly,
Yeah, I think, like, with art and, like, different, like, comedy, music, whatever, like, when you don't need the money, like, it makes it so much easier where you can kind of be, like, selective and, like, who you want to work with and, like, because, like, I feel like, with comedy, it's like we get paid such shit that, like, we have to take certain gigs just to get by.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it would be so much easier where it's like if money wasn't a thing, like, I could be more selective with the gigs that I want and, like, like, getting better shit overall,
Yeah, no, that's like for me, that's just specifically with, like, making records with other people. Like, I mean, I could honestly always use the money, but, like,
yeah.
I just don't want to be bashing my head against the wall, like, in my own place.
Yeah,
like,
wasted energy.
Exactly, but, like, something with, like, shows, I'll accept every show I get offered. Like, no matter what. Like, I'm a hustler like that.
Nice.
Like, I need to just be out there. And,
cool.
like, because, like, even if it's a bomb, like, I'm sure, like, I did something right I can get a video of, like, somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Exactly. I've never heard that before, and I'm going to start using that.
Really?
Oh,
Never heard
really?
that?
No,
Yeah.
no.
That's a great
I say that often, too, yeah.
it's a great
That's a
term.
good
Never heard that
phrase.
What, so now we've covered if someone walks in the studio and they're just a nightmare to deal with.
Okay.
What if someone walks in, nice guy, and he's like, here's what I'm working on.
And it's like fucking trash.
And it's just absolute wet garbage.
I just had that recently, man. Yeah, dude. You know what my power play kind of is? You kind of like bullshit it yourself to kind of like I don't want to say gaslight, but you kind of convince them like I don't really like this guy's not really putting like a good amount of effort in. Like I just kind of pull back and I'm like, well, maybe like start doing this different.
Okay.
Kind of like pull the rug out from
So
under
you
them.
so you give them other avenues.
Yeah, and like I don't like keep their money like if it's just not working.
Like,
I
hey,
stop charging them. I'm like, like we're not doing this.
Like, yo, here's my record. And you're like, hey, did you ever think about working at Macy's? What do you ever about that? You ever just think about getting a job at the movie theater?
My problem's kind of the opposite. Like I always see potential in everyone, So
Okay.
it's like I try to like poke him in like a different direction. I'm like, maybe this pop shit isn't for you, but maybe we can get you on one of my songs and see how you do. Like,
Okay.
I have this written for you. And
That's nice. That's nice though. That's
yeah,
good.
I try to keep it honest. Like I don't try to. I do not want to fuck people. I've been fucked at recording studios. Like my first time going to a recording studio, I got kicked out of it, and I never got the money back.
Oh.
And
What happened?
the guy honored me. It was so I was in like college. It was like freshman year. I was upstate in Rochester. I'm trying to like remember the story now. It's been so long. So I paid a couple bucks, got myself in a recording studio in shithole Rochester, and after like 2 hours, I was trying to use my voice, and I'd never recorded into a microphone before, so I was
Yeah.
super uncomfortable and like super in my own head. So the guy was like, you know
Yeah,
what,
move a little
like,
closer to them.
yeah. Maybe this isn't for you. And I was like, like that was his way of doing that. Like the you suck. Like maybe you should work at Macy's type thing. He was
Wow.
like, it's like maybe this isn't for you. You know, like you got 2 hours left. I'll like credit your session another time. And then I tried to like credit it like 2 years later or like a year later or whatever. And he
Yeah.
pretty much was like, yeah, fuck you. He was like, what are you talking about? That never happened. I'm like, no, it did. You piece
what
of
a
shit.
dick,
So
yeah.
like I kind of always took that grain of salt. And I remember that night too, because like I'd wanted to be my own solo artist for years, and that was my first attempt at it. And like I was honestly like hysterically crying my eyes out. And I remember like that night trying to go to sleep, I was like, well, there's two ways I can go with this. Like I could accept defeat right now and just move forward and not
Yeah.
do this, or I could just power through it and keep trying. And that's kind of the attitude I've had ever since. And I would imagine it's like similar with like comedy.
Any type of entertainment, dude, you
Yeah.
gotta have. It's almost like you have to be delusional.
You really do.
You do. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be delusional, and because it's like, and it gets harder because the older you get, the more like serious people get with lives. Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, I'm sure when you're fucking 50. Like, yeah, I'm a CEO. Some of your friends will be CEOs, and you're like, yeah, I'm telling jokes down at this fucking place. And I mean, hopefully you're doing better by 50.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
you know what too is like, if that talk like, hey, maybe this isn't for you. Like, if someone says that to you early on, and that is enough to get you to stop, then it
should be
really
different.
wasn't for
Yeah,
you.
no,
you
yeah,
know?
very true.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true, dude.
Yeah, like you obviously weren't that passionate about it, but like you said, like there's also a certain amount of like you got to be like delusional.
You really do. Like,
Yeah.
You gotta, like it's also interesting. You look at like some celebrities are so fucking crazy, and that's why because
Yeah.
they had to fuck.
They're
They had to
fucking
fight
nuts.
through all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, we come through a place where it kind of makes more sense to do entertainment, like Long Island, New York. It's right by the city. Like
Yeah.
New York
Yeah.
City is like the biggest media market in the fucking
Also, some of the
country.
most eccentric fucking people in the country.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But like, if you're
100%.
coming from like Prince is from like bumfuck Minnesota.
He is.
Like, no wonder he was fucking nuts. Like, he had to believe in himself.
Dude, could you imagine how rough of a childhood that guy had?
Prince.
Oh
He
God.
had a pretty rough adulthood too.
Yeah, like imagine being him, and also like what I mean, he's older, so like he probably grew up like in like the 1960s or something.
Yeah.
They probably roughed him up like
yeah,
real
he was
bad.
eccentric as fuck.
And at the end, he called game Charlie Murray. Game blouses.
What was I gonna say? How much is it for like an hour studio time?
I charge 65 right now, but
Okay.
like the place, like the premier places I would go to before I open my own place were like $130.
Okay,
Like it gets expensive.
You
Now-
have your own studio?
Yeah, I own a recording studio.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, you guys gotta pull up sometime.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm
dude.
down.
It's fucking dope. Yeah,
I'm down to pull up.
It's a great place
Yeah.
to just smoke weed too. Like,
So that's the thing I love, and I thought it was just in movies.
Yeah.
But then I started to, meet. I mean, I met you, and other people like yourself, and yeah, like if you could just be chilling there, like not like a music studio is a super cool hangout place.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty
could-
much my apartment. Like,
Yeah.
I live there. Like,
Yeah.
I have all like food shit there. I have a fridge,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
water cooler.
I
like-
mean, our
Yeah.
guy, he's not here today, but Big Beezy, the guy who edits our clips, our very own Mr. Big
Yeah,
Bees.
feel better, bees.
Big bees.
Yeah, Big
Yeah.
Bees is sick right
bees
now.
in the trap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he bees in the trap right now. But he edits his stuff. He rents out a space, and it's like a music studio.
Oh, wow,
He's
yeah,
got
yeah.
like drums. He's got one big room for like a band, and then like he edits the stuff in the computer room, and it's cool. And I was like, do people just chill here? He's like, yeah. He's like, I could sleep here if I want.
Yeah, like that's the beauty of it, man.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
He's got couches and shit.
Smoke inside. Like there's nothing better
Yeah.
than being able to smoke inside.
Yeah, but I would want to. Yeah, if you got like a rap artist, just bring some beers, chill out.
Yeah, but not too
Yeah.
many friends. Like that's like something I'm big on. Like
No.
yeah, like,
J- no. You got to be at least like some connection.
Right.
Yeah, like you can't just bring your whole fucking gang. Like,
No,
that's
no,
my
no.
one rule. I always joke like my one rule is no guns.
No
No
guns.
guns.
Yeah.
Here. No guns here.
As a you've been doing this for quite some time now. What's like one show you get called for, and they're like, "Hey, Christian, we got this show coming up. We want you to do this day. It's over here." And like what show do you get a call for, and you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be a fucking piece of shit. Oh, this is gonna be a fucking nightmare." Because like
every time I did Revolution, every time it was like a Tuesday night, and it was kind of like chasing the dragon. It's like I know what's coming in this, man. Like
it's always on a Tuesday.
The 20 tickets, the 20 tickets, and it's like this time I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make some money, and then like
we used to do a lot of comedy at Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
That place,
that place is.
I remember when that place closed. It was like an Instagram post, and like most of the comments on the post were like, "Good fucking riddance."
Yeah, they always did I'm sure they obviously had weekends, but like they'd be like, "Hey, you want to do this Tuesday, Wednesday show?" And I'm like, "What? The fucking."
I know.
And it was so.
I was like, "What are you having? Like that's always on the weekend. That's like better." Like I couldn't picture like better things happening on Friday and Saturday that they would give us like all the Tuesdays.
Dude, they would have
and Wednesdays.
Riff Raff perform there.
Riff Raff?
Yeah, Riff Raff. We got Riff Raff.
That was their biggest fucking. That was their claim to fame.
Got two chicks drinking in my song. Whatever the fucking lyrics
Oh,
are.
yeah, that guy's insane, right?
Dude, his album titles are crazy. Everything's like a color and like an animal. It's
Really?
like Blueberry Aqua Dolphin.
Oh, my
Peach
God.
Panther.
I was hooking up with a girl right out of college.
Yeah.
And when I first met her, she said that she met him on like a spring break thing, like her and her friend. And her and her friend, they were like, really good looking girls. And then so obviously Riff Raff said, "Hey, what's up? You want to come hang out with us?" And like they exchanged numbers, and she said that her and the friend, I forgot where he flew him out to.
Right.
But they hung out with him. And I was like, "How was that?" And she's like, "It was just fucking odd."
You ever see American Psycho?
Yeah.
When he picks up the fucking prostitute, and she's like at the second time, she's like, "Not again." Like I needed surgery last time.
Dude, she said they were doing blow, and like when you're doing blow, you're kind of like if you're doing a lot of it, you're just like in a creepy mood.
Yeah,
and
you're like lizard.
He was like feeding them oysters when they're coked up on blow.
Oh my God.
And they were just like, "We don't want oysters there," and he's like, "Take the oysters."
Dude, that's like got to be the worst Coke food.
Oh, oysters?
Yeah,
Oysters.
ew.
Like, ew, dude. What the fuck?
If I got Coke mouth, if I got geek beak,
Geek beak?
and you're putting shellfish in my face,
Dude, get the shellfish out of
I'd be
here.
like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, my God.
But she said she was like, "Come on, have some of that caviar," like putting it in her face.
Yeah.
And she was like, "We never called him again."
No, dude,
Ever.
fuck. Yeah, because that guy's like weird as fuck. He's got like pink hair. He's got like the grill, right?
Yeah.
Tats all over the place.
Yeah. And then
That's committing to the bit, like,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
But
what's
like,
that guy?
I don't even think he really does like music anymore. I think he's just like an internet personality.
Now, when you're like that, okay, listen, you were popping back in the early 2000s. Your shit ain't popping no more. So, can you just pretty much, I guess just do what you do? Hey, I got a studio, and you're just having more popping people come in and do studio time. Like you could just
I'd
run,
hope for his sake.
like you could just run a studio.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can just like make like sound investments. I'm sure he has like real estate. Like I'm sure he has like a business manager that like takes care of like all that type
Yeah.
of shit. Like I'm sure like he still does like shows. Like most of the money for a lot of musicians is like shows and merch.
Yeah,
That's really no
I heard
different.
like the merch is where they make them like a lot of the
Yeah,
cash.
I mean it's like that type of shit.
I mean,
like
you got your own merch, and I'm gonna buy those fucking shorts, dude.
thank you, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I just like clothes. Like I always like me and my friend in early college were like super into like Supreme. It was like the rush of it. Like we really didn't
Yeah.
even like the stuff that much. Like it was about like 11 a.m. on every Thursday. We're gonna log on and like try and get a fucking hoodie. Like
I feel
Yeah.
like if you were a sneakerhead, you also like Supreme.
yeah, and you probably like Coke too. Like just the rush. Like, that's what it's
I never
about.
got into Supreme. You
Well,
know,
I think we're a little-
never
I think
saw
we're a
the
little too
appeal. Yeah,
I think we're a little. I felt like that was in our.
I felt like it's just way too expensive for me too.
It really is. No, it's. I mean, the shit's like pretty nice though. Like the shirts are really fucking like thick, nice shirts. But
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day, it's all crap. Like
Yeah.
half of it's going to Africa anyway. Like at some
Right.
point, like for like underprivileged children.
They got good like nylon sportswear type looking stuff. I like that.
What do you mean? Like they got like the bags and shit?
Yeah, like I've seen like windbreakers, like it just like shit like that looks like on the go type shit.
Like activewear type shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They have their funniest thing was like every season they'd have like it was like something that doesn't belong here. It was like we got bolt cutters with the Supreme logo. I always wanted those, like to just break someone's fucking chain link fence.
We got
my
a stapler. We got a Supreme stapler.
Like they did. That's the fucked up thing. They actually did.
That's insane.
They had a brick. Do you remember the brick?
No, I don't remember.
Dude, they had a brick that just said Supreme on it, and it was like $100. I remember some kid.
fuck?
Dude, I remember some kid brought it to class in college, and I was like, "Yo, you got the brick?
You
Bro.
got the brick.
Flipping bricks up in here." Yeah,
Yeah, but you got your own thing. Stay golden.
yeah. I'm trying to make like a lifestyle brand out of it. Like my studio, I want to make into like a media kind of entity, like a bar stool or something like that. But for people really getting after like their dreams, like I'm a musician, it's gonna start more of as like a music thing,
Right.
And like I also like am into outdoorsy shit, so like I'm just trying to like combine the two.
Dude, you got a lot of hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of hobbies.
I have too much free time and no free time at the same time. It's like it's like the fucking like two circle chart.
Right.
Well, I feel like
Yeah, the Venn
anytime we're talking to someone who is, like you're chasing your dreams. It sounds corny,
Yeah.
but that's what we're doing here. Like you're chasing your dreams. That's what we're doing. And it's funny, because you
chasing the dragon is like all that,
Yeah, basically.
do you feel like the older you get, the more you can pretty much only talk to other music producers or people in the arts?
Yes, 100%. Like so like this year for me, when I started my businesses and like kind of like it was always like I made music, whatever. It was kind of like all over the place. And like when I made it like an actual entity is when it attracted more attention from people I meet. Like it was a better conversation piece.
Right.
Like, I can go into environments and meet interesting people, and it's like more of a tangible thing that people understand. I was actually talking about this with my buddy last night. Like I always did music, but now like especially with like girls, like they understand jobs better. Like that they understand. It's like, oh, this kid does music. Like I don't get that, but now it's like, oh, he owns a business. Like that makes more sense to me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or like it's like that's why there's like badge bunnies. It's like, oh, he's a cop. I don't really understand the law, but like I get what that is. Like that makes money.
Yeah.
That makes money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that too, is like what you're saying is like, I really can only talk to people that have some sort of dream at this point, I have like tons of friends that it's just like they subscribe to like, I'm just gonna wake up, go to work, fucking come home, shower, eat, go to bed, and that's it. That's like my life. I take like my 2 weeks vacation a year, and like they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna have a kid and then I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
like that's it.
That
And I can't talk to those people.
You know what it is?
I need to talk to someone that has some kind of like where they're passionate.
Yeah,
about
they always
something.
have like a sob. It's like always kind of like world's smallest violin with that. Too.
Yeah,
like I don't
dude.
need that energy. Like I want people getting after it every day.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it could be anything. Like I have so many
Some
weird
kind of
friends with
hustle.
all businesses. And
You know what?
hustles,
You know what it is? I just don't like people. I don't get because at first I was like, I always talk to myself. I'm like, you sound like a dick when you're shitting on someone with a normal life. That you sound like an asshole.
Yeah.
And I don't like that about myself, but I do it a lot. And I'm like, I don't think you shit on people with normal jobs. I think you shit on people, or you mean to shit on people that aren't doing anything interesting.
Right.
I don't like people who just like do nothing interesting. I'm like, really, dude? Like, what are we alive on this world for like 90 years, and you're just gonna do jack shit?
Yeah, I think it's also like you kind of subconsciously like feel for them in a way. It's like you like, especially if it's like your friend or something. It's like you want them to do cool shit. You want them to live a life that's happy.
But like
there's ways to be happy, and like you're not taking it. You're kind of just succumbing to the bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
that's
but
what
it's
they
like
want you to do.
if
Whoever
you-
they is.
If
Like,
the most like interesting thing about you is like you're in a fantasy football league, like dude, I don't want to talk.
Yeah,
to you.
I just don't.
You
I
know
don't.
what I'm
I don't
saying?
like my friends. So like my high school friends, I shit on them a bunch. But then there's some that I don't. And then like, I remember I think my mom was still. She's like, "Well, why don't you shit on Alf?" And I'm like, "Okay, Alf is a plumber and he's a very regular guy, but he also runs a chartering business and he goes like big fish tuna fishing."
That's sick.
Yeah,
And I showed
see,
you
that's
I showed.
interesting.
Yeah,
I
you
showed you
big
the-
ass fucking honker.
Dude, he
Yeah.
fucking he pulls out of the water this fucking 600 fucking pound fish, dude. I'll show you that.
What, like a tuna?
Dude, it was like from Christian to you. And
Wow.
like, dude, it was tremendous. And I was like, how long did you fight that for? He's like, 6 hours.
See, that's
Holy
badass.
shit.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's something you can bring up in conversation. I'm like, oh, fuck, that's something I don't know about.
Yeah.
Tell me
Yeah.
more about that something.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. That's savage as fuck. Like, that's the most primal thing you could do. Like,
Yeah,
there was a
dude.
period of time too, especially with like music, where I didn't feel like I was doing enough masculine things. I was also smoking weed every day, so my brain was like,
You were
really
like
fried.
way in your own
Yeah,
head.
and I was like unemployed at the time, and I was like, I'm a fucking gay loser. So I picked up. I was like, I need to do something like manly. So me and my buddy just started fishing every day. Like I used to do it as a kid. So I was like,
Yeah,
let's start
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And once you start catching shit, you feel good. You're like, wow, I
Yeah.
kind of feel like a competent male
Yeah.
again. Like this is sick.
It's,
My
yeah.
boner works now.
My
Yeah, I
boner
feel
works.
like there's always like a moment where like when you're growing up where it's like, oh, I used to like doing this as a kid. I'm an adult now. I'm gonna start doing those things again.
Yeah.
Where you start getting like weird hobbies where it's
Yeah.
like, I love this as a kid. I'm gonna start fucking doing it again.
Yeah.
You know what I always wanted to be good at? And it's just like, it's one of those things from the get-go. Like, you know when you're real young, like, you're trying a bunch of stuff just to see what you would be
Yeah.
good at as a human being, because you're like 10.
You're like testing the waters.
Yeah, of just life. And then there's those handful of things that you're like, never will I ever even be kind of okay at this.
It's like me with skiing.
Skateboarding.
Yeah, that's a big one.
yeah.
I don't know fucking how that's even a possible thing.
No, dude.
I don't know. Like, you
I was
could-
always so bad at that.
yeah. There's a skater, Bailey Dreyer.
Oh yeah. She's like a comedian, right?
Yeah, because she's a comic, Bailey Dreyer. She's a skater, and she could like, she can move it around, and I'm just like,
I throw that thing around.
and I talk to her all the time. I'm like, we DM each other like skateboard tricks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is that? We talk skating because I'm super interested in it, because I know I would never ever be able to
Right.
do it, no matter how much I tried. But she's been skating her whole life.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, it is a ridiculous thing.
Like,
Like,
you have to beat the shit out of yourself. To do
yeah,
that.
she's like, it is a ridiculous thing. Like, I
Right.
don't even know how I'm able to do the things that I'm able to do.
a lot of concussions.
Yeah.
A lot of throwing that thing around.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But see, like I feel like I don't know. I was always so bad at skateboarding, but I feel like I could have probably gotten good at it. But it's like when everybody was skateboarding, I was like playing sports,
Yeah.
like growing up.
Yeah. It requires a certain amount of like.
You
It's
gotta
not-
sink a lot of hours into
Oh
that
yeah,
shit.
it's one
you
of those
know?
like hour
Yeah.
intensive, but like you also have to have this weird athleticism. Where
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, I'm good at sports. I'm good at
Dude,
skateboarding.
Marissa knows how to skateboard, and she's like, we should go skateboarding. I'm like, no, I don't know how.
Dude.
I'm gonna die.
Dude, over pandemic, Bailey would be like, you want to just go to the park? And I'm like, fucking no. She's like,
Yeah.
I'll teach you how to drop in. I'm like, yeah, but the thing is,
Well, like drop in on like a ramp.
like a pool.
Get
like
the
a
fuck
yeah.
out of
Fuck
here.
that.
Yeah. And I was like, brother, no. She's like, I'll teach you how to do it. I'm like, yeah, but it's not a thing where it's like, I'll teach you how to catch. Where if I don't
Yeah.
catch the ball a bunch of times, who cares? Like, I'm not gonna get it like a fair number of times. That means I'm just gonna be
Falling.
Break
falling
your
on,
fucking neck, man.
Yeah.
on the
On
back
my
of my
fucking ass. Like I'm gonna break my tailbone.
yeah.
Come on,
the
Trav.
back-
Let's go to the half pipe.
Yeah, on the- yeah.
good.
That's
on
what
the
I'm saying.
back
I'll
of
just
my-
teach you to drop in on a
Yeah.
half pipe. Like what the
Like
fuck?
that, you have to be delusional for.
Yeah.
Also, she's like what, all of 115 pounds.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah,
like
you
a
gotta be
buck.
tiny
I'm
for
like a
that.
$190. Like I would imagine that would be harder to, and also if
Yeah.
you fall, it's way harder.
More
Yeah.
weight. Yeah.
You're getting whacked.
Literally, you're getting fucked up for that shit. Man. Like it just. Ugh.
Oh damn, dude.
Yeah,
it's rough
dude.
shit, man. Shit they're doing though, it's fucking insane.
Dude, I love watching like a good skateboarding trick, like and the people that do it like are fucking amazing. But it's just like I think there's definitely a bunch of things where it's like I can't do that at all, and I'll never be able to. So I have more respect for you. That
That's
can
yeah,
do it,
100%.
yeah.
you know?
I'm super interested in
Like
it.
I'm with that with the guitar too.
Yeah.
Like I'm so bad. Like I tried learning how to like play the guitar years ago, and like I was like learning, but like again, it was just like I have to soak so many hours into this. Like I don't have the time to really learn.
Yeah.
But like and it was like difficult for me. I don't know. Like I just couldn't really get it. Like I wasn't picking it up as fast as I normally do. So it's like I definitely have a lot more respect for guitar players now.
Yeah,
you know, because I tried and I failed.
I'm like that with drums. There's a comedian in the city. This guy Gene Meyer. He's in a band. He's
Yeah.
a vocalist, but he could fucking rock out.
Right.
And I same with him. I ask him. I'm like, dude, like what's even like the prerequisites? Like where do you even start for drumming? And he's like, dude, I have to sit down and I'd have to tell you. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't have the time, or like hours. I would have to stop doing something else that I do to get that.
And I feel like a lot of people do this with comedy, is like they'll never be able to do it because like for different reasons, like stage fright, or you know, like I feel like one of the things that I always hear anytime I tell someone I'm a comedian, they're like, oh, it takes a lot of balls to do that. Like I would never be able to do that, you know, because like, you know, a lot of people's number one fear is like public speaking.
Oh yeah, it's like some people. I mean, like I've always just been like an attention whore loser.
Yeah.
So like yeah. Just since I was like 5, like I just love being in front of people. Just like look at me, like an annoying fuck.
Oh yeah.
But like some people just like if like 2 people look at them, they're like, what?
Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah, they're just like, what is going on? It fucking rattles their world.
And it's like my attention hoarding definitely outweighed like my fear of public speaking.
It's like I need this. I need this right now.
Yeah. Like when you ran out on that stage in the video that you showed me, like how great did that feel? When you were like,
dude,
what the fuck?
I was like, what's good? Like I was like, let's do this, man. Honestly, I was like, I probably look like such a boner right now, but like I'm having fun, man.
You didn't look like you didn't look like a boner at all.
No.
They were like, dude, you know what's funny about that show is like they were more confused than like I jumped into the crowd, like I love doing that, and I was like, and like they were just looking at me like this kid is like a fucking alien right now. It felt good though. I was like, this is fucking
it's
cool.
great when there's like a big, because a small crowd you can't go out like that because then people are like, whoa.
Oh, I've done that though.
Really?
I jumped in the crowd with one person there.
God
I was
bless
like giving him high fives and shit. I was like, let me have some, because at that point you're like,
well, it's not even a crowd if it's one person. It's just a guy.
Yeah, you just your boy at that point. You know?
That's an audition at one point.
Still don't even know that guy's name.
It's yeah, let's do a really small crowd and just run out with like small theater energy. It's like, what the fuck is good?
Bring pyro.
They're like, yeah, like shit blowing up.
Burn the fucking club.
But it is when you step on stage, it's like it's like this. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like obviously, the more you do it, you don't get all crazy about it, but it still has this glimmer. That you,
every
like
time.
you just like I'm on stage.
You get that mild anxiety going up too. It's like this could be the one where I really just fuck up.
Yeah, and then that mild anxiety just juices up your jokes or your songs, and then and like they hit even harder,
right?
Because you're like, well, you know, listen, I gotta hit this, I gotta make it work, or I'm fucked. Yeah, and then so that fear kind of gives you a jolt.
Yeah, get that adrenaline.
Yeah, it makes your craft better.
Dude, you ever see someone completely collapse when they had the public speak?
Oh yeah. Dude,
I took this class. I took a public speaking class in college. Like I feel like everyone had to do that. Yeah. So I wouldn't write my speeches. I would just like do a little research 10 minutes before class and just get up, get an A. But we had to do a group speech one time, and we had this. There was one girl in the class. Every time she'd get up and have to do a speech, she would like just break down, like and like she had to leave the room. Like literally, it was like the most pathetic thing you've ever seen. And she was in my group, and like we were supposed to like meet up a certain amount of times and shit like that. And my professor was like this really like militant, angry gay guy. It wasn't like a happy gay guy. It was like a no bullshit. Like but he gave off the energy as like a really happy, like flamboyant gay guy. But he wasn't. He was like a savage. Like he tolerated zero bullshit.
Sounds like an interesting person.
So yeah, he was a fucking crazy guy. So this
militant gay guy.
So he put us in a group. It was like a 4-person group speech, and she was in our group. And I was like, fuck. So we met. We did all the shit we were supposed to do. We wrote our speeches. And we get up in front of the crowd, or the fucking class. Sorry, that's not a crowd. So everyone executes, and she was the last one to go. And we're like, she's got this. Like she's like ready to go. We gave her like all this confidence. She breaks down, and the professor pulls us aside, and he's like, "This is fucked up. Like you guys should have prepped her for this. Like pretty much putting it on us. And it's like you guys would have gotten an A+, but because of this, you're getting a C."
Jesus.
I was like, fuck you.
Yo, 2 letter grades?
Yeah, that
was
the
bullshit.
Fuck? Because of someone else's social anxiety, that's not fair.
No,
that's not fair at all.
That would piss me off because I'm like, that's something that's in her. Like I can't change that.
Yeah, that's a fear. Like that's not cool. Like I think it's kind of fucked up they make everyone take a public speaking class because it's not for everyone. Like it's something you should try to do, but it's really not for everyone.
Where did you have to take this? 'Cause I never had to take one.
I went to Mercy College.
Okay.
Yeah, I went for music production.
Yeah, I had to take like 2.
Mercy, where is that?
Yeah, I had to take 2.
Dobbs Ferry.
Okay.
I had to take
Westchester.
I had to take 2, and then I willingly took a third because I was like,
Really?
it was like 101, 102, 103. That's all they offered. But it was like,
That's like perfect for you though. Like that's.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it because I was just such a. I don't even think I was a bad student. I just like didn't give a fuck about school, and like you just like also sitting in one place and doing one thing for an extended period of time is very difficult for me.
Yeah.
It's just, and I just like that's why I was just so bad at school. It was that's what it is.
Yeah, I would never go back. If I had to go back
No.
for, if there's a gun to my head, I had to go back. I would just.
What would you go back for?
No, I was thinking like if I had a gun to my head, kill me. Like, I wouldn't do it.
What would you go back for if you had?
If
to?
I had to, at this point, I'd probably be like a music teacher.
Right.
Like that's like probably the most stable thing I could do. But like that's not even stable though. Like
Did you go to college originally for music?
I went up originally for psychology because like
Okay,
I was like I
yeah.
need like a job that's like normal for my parents.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then after a semester, I went like to Geneseo for just one semester, and then I took a semester off, and then I was like, I'm gonna do this music thing. My mom figured out
Yeah.
a way that made sense that they were happy with, and then
Yeah,
I just went to
dude.
school like I'm going, no bullshit. I would come home every weekend and like drink with my friends here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I did not give a fuck. Like college for me, like I loved that college when I first got there to visit because no one was wearing any merch. Like no one gave a fuck about it.
Right.
I
Yeah.
hate like the college energy of like representing like a unit, like a school. Like
Right.
it's just
Yeah,
like this is
yeah.
really the hill you're gonna fucking die on. Like the place that educates you. Like
Yeah.
fuck that.
Syracuse is very
Get that
much so.
school pride.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes.
I
Fuck,
think-
go Qs.
I think when people are like that, and I could be wrong, but I think when people are like that is because they've been losers up until that point.
It's like yeah. It's like because the people that get into
Yeah.
good colleges are nerds.
Because like you don't have any identity, you don't have any social identity because
Yeah.
you're just kind of
Right.
like you're a loser. Granted, they're way smarter than me and they're probably way more successful, but socially, it's
Fucking
just
losers.
like like that's why and it's I mean just same thing when you see someone who you could always tell like what someone's lacking as an adult when you talk to them. You're like, oh, that's why you're so intensive about this thing because you lacked it. You didn't have it growing
Yeah.
up. Same thing with people like who are like obsessed with money. I gotta make money.
Oh, yeah,
They
Usually.
probably grew up like pretty rough. They really have a lot of
Yeah.
money, and they're like, well, I'm not fucking doing this.
It's all your trauma. Everything like,
Yeah.
that you're worried about is your trauma.
Yeah, it's really kind of what it breaks down to. That and like self-esteem is
Yeah.
like such a big base of things that I'm starting to learn as an adult.
Dude, I was watching this video with the Paul brothers. It was like after the fight that Jake just had.
Yeah.
And I never watch these guys. Like I don't like these guys typically.
I try not to,
like,
yeah.
but it's like it just comes up in your feed, and then they're talking
Wait,
about
he
like,
fought one of the Diaz
Yeah,
brothers,
yeah,
right?
he won too.
Oh, Jake Paul did?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so depressing.
You just kind of give up at that point.
Yeah,
But-
I fucking hate that
so
guy.
they're talking about some bullshit like the other brother wasn't allowed to bring his energy drink there because it was sponsored by Celsius, and they're like bitching about it, and the other one whips out, he's like, well man, like this is all just because like your trauma, and they're like, oh yeah, and like, they start having a therapy session. I'm like, this is fucking weird. Like they're on the air, like imagine like we just like started talking about our traumas like to everyone publicly right
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Like I remember when I was in high school, I was like, I mean, granted, don't try to deal drugs when you're 15 because you're just gonna get beat up and robbed. But yeah, like our older kids, like I would just get beat up all the time, like and I was like a cool kid. I was on sport, but they just like they didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when you're 15, like you're like
Yeah,
the seniors or whatever, like you're just
Yeah, and
someone to fuck
it was
with.
bad. And I remember like at like 18, 19, I was super aggressive, and like I would go to parties, and if anybody like I even thought they were like testing me, I would be like, fight me, and I would start a fight with them.
really.
Yeah, and then I hit like 20, and I was like, dude, you can't be walking around doing this.
Yeah.
Like you need to dial that shit back.
Yeah, dude, you definitely like overly compensate because I used to get picked on when I was younger, and then it's like later on, it was like I was either fighting or like fucking picking on, like
Yeah.
making fun of people because like I didn't want to fucking like get picked on anymore,
Yeah.
so I was constantly pushing the issue the other way. You know?
I think honestly, I think that's also why a lot of people join comedy.
Yeah.
Because they're always used to just like just being under this
like a
constant
fucking
fire.
doormat. Yeah,
They're always under this constant fire.
Yeah.
and that they're good at it now. They just know how to and then So being on stage with them, that's another run in the park.
Right.
It's nothing.
Yeah, that's definitely why I got better at talking to people. Like you just kind of learn to survive. Like just start
Yeah.
talking shit, really. Especially where we come from. Like
Yeah.
people in New York are no fucking joke, man.
Especially
you really gotta survive.
Long Island.
Yeah.
Like you ever meet someone from like a bumfuck state? Like they don't know how to shoot the shit like we do. It's a completely different animal.
Yeah, no.
And they think we're so funny too. Like typically, like they're like, this guy's crazy. It's
This
like no,
guy's-
like you gotta live in a wolf pit essentially.
Yeah, you do. You have to live in a wolf pit. You have to hang out with wolves. It's that's just what it is, man. That's what it is.
All right,
Well,
I think that's pretty
was
much
it.
our time.
That was
Yeah,
our
man.
time.
Yeah, man. Christian, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, you plug your Instagram.
Oh
your
yeah,
shows.
no, my you can follow my studio at GLDN_HR_studios. Yeah, it's Golden Hour Studios. I also have it'll have a link to my website, and yeah, I sell a whole line of clothes and stuff like that. I got a bunch of cool content coming out this fall. I'm working on that right now. So
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, I look forward to, I don't know, hopefully being on the show again at a great fucking time. Thanks for having me. This is my
Yeah,
first time being on
man.
a podcast. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, dude, we're happy to have you. Thank you.
Any
for coming, man.
you got any like shows coming up?
Nothing at the moment. I'm working on planning some stuff.
Awesome,
So
dude.
I'll be plugging some stuff soon.
Yeah, we should do like a music comedy
Dude, I love comedy.
combination.
I
Dude.
want to do that so
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
We're down.
Sounds good, brother. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So for me, on Friday, I'm at the local bar and cafe in Queens, Long Island City, at 7:30. If you want to come check that out, then what's the name of the fucking place? On the 15th, I am in Long Beach. Just you know what? Follow me at Trav_Grant on Instagram. I gotta stop doing this where it's like so and so's gig and not putting the actual information on my calendar.
Right.
But follow me on Trav_Grant on Instagram. I'm about to post a bunch of flyers up. I got a bunch of cool stuff. And I'm also going to be in Jersey coming up. I'm hosting this thing.
Oh, nice.
And we're actually staying at this 40-bedroom mansion.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
fucking sick.
Yeah,
is
these two
cool.
guys, they bought like an old like movie theater from like 1915. It's really cool looking.
That's fucking
Wow.
cool.
So I'm going to host those two shows, and then when we come back, that's where we're staying. We're staying at this 40-bedroom mansion, which is going to
Yeah.
be fucking insane. But again, Trav_Grant. I'll post all the flyers up. I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, follow me at The Logic. Follow the show at Treading Water Podcast. We're on, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
Follow us, man. And thanks for hanging out. And we'll catch you next week.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Peace.
Woo!